Hello, hello. Welcome to our last class of the year. So happy you could join. We'll get started right away. So we'll inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth a few times. Let the body do whatever it wants. And today we'll start with some rebounding. So the feet on the floor, the knees soft, and we'll just get a bounce going. Relaxing into the vibration. So we can imagine an upward pull through the crown. And see if we can let that vibration from the earth come all the way up through the head. Relax into it. Let ourselves be a little silly. Have fun. A few more, really get into it. Last 30 seconds or so. Use the breath to help you release. Okay, we can slow it down. Open up the feet more into a horse stance. Make sure we have room around us, and we'll swing side to side. So turning with the waist. For now, just keep the arms loose. Let the head follow the movement and the eyes be open. Okay, now we'll direct the hands beside the belly, or beside the belly button, I should say, and on the low back. I should also mention, I usually like to keep my feet solid, but if you prefer, you can kind of play with like opening the foot out. You can like give it a try, see if you like it. Okay, same movement, but now we'll tap upper chest close to the shoulder. And still lower back, or maybe towards the back of the rib cage. The back hand's tapping lightly. Okay, back to the belly. And back to loose arms. And we'll slowly make our way to center. Okay, feet under the hips. So we'll use our inner hand and we'll chop this tough muscle to help ourselves ground. So apparently this movement is so grounding and moves the energy down so much that we don't want to do it if we're pregnant. So if anyone watching is pregnant, don't do this one. So inner hand, and we just chop, 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 chop. You can kind of go side to side, see where you need it. I like the image of like hammering a piece of wood into the ground, and it's just getting so deep, so rooted that no one can push it over or pull it out. Okay, gently up the side of the neck. We can move the head away and just go up and down the neck. Okay, come back to chopping that point. And now we'll open up the palm and come inner shoulder. So get that lung 1 point. So the chest by the shoulder, like where we were knocking before. And now down the arm. Get the wrist, palm of the hand, back of the hand, back of the wrist. Come up. Now this point underneath the elbow, that's good for digestion. So we're on the large intestine meridian now. And it's also really good for when we're holding food. So it might be especially useful this holiday season. Come back up and we go across. Okay, we start on the other side. So our little choppy hand and that tough muscle and just chop, 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 chop. Just rooting ourselves so deep, so strong. Okay, now gently up the side of the neck. We can tilt the head away and just go up and down the neck a little. All right, now open up the bottom hands, come to the front of the chest, get that lung 1 point. Okay, up the shoulder, down the arm, get the inner elbow, inner arm, wrist, palm of the hand, turn down, back of the hands, back of the wrist, come up. So that, again, that's area below the elbow. So the forearm, upper forearm below the elbow, good for releasing held food. So maybe we can just keep this in mind over the holidays and whenever you need it. Okay, come up and across. Ooh, give ourselves a little shake. All right, let's do some more warm-ups. The feet come together. We'll do our side bends, shoulders back and down. Inhale, fill up with fresh energy. Exhale, ear towards shoulder. Let ourselves hang, 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 hang. When you're ready, inhale, center. Exhale to the other side. And you can always take an extra breath. You move in your own way at your own pace. So we'll do a few on our own. All right, when you're ready, back to center. Open up the feet. Warm up the hands. Warm up the kidneys and the low back. So moving into winter, the organ of the winter is the kidney. So that's what we'll be working on when we come back to our classes in January. And just a general note, we want to keep these kidneys nice and warm. So, we always think of our necks, but we got to think of this whole midsection too. Keep this part of ourselves warm too. Okay, slide the hands up over the kidneys, bend the knees. Let's circle those hips. I love this movement. It's good for the whole spine, the whole body, really. Any kind of back pain. Change direction. Okay, back to center. So now we're going to work with the lungs. It is still fall, even though it feels like winter. And it's always a good time to work with the lungs. So we'll use our tiger's mouth, but we'll do an easier version. We can keep the rest of the fingers up, and we'll just focus on this part. So stretching. So this is your tiger's mouth. Think of a tiger yawning or roaring and how big the mouth gets. Or you think it's like too big. So that's what we want to get with the hands. So really open, open, open from here to here. Open, open, open. The second thing we're going to work on is rounding. So we want to round. Think of like the head and the pelvis connecting. Think of when we were a little fetus and the way we were curled in that way. So that's how much we want to open the back. So really think like head to pelvis. Okay, so we're in a horse stance. We have our tiger's mouth. We inhale, the tiger mouth open, the chest open. Bring the arms back as far as we can comfortably go. Inhale, opening the front of the chest. We exhale. We can bring the hands into loose fists towards the forehead, and we round as much as we can. Let's actually stay in our rounded position for a few breaths, really to get the feeling, breathing into the back. Like we're opening up the pockets in the backs of the lungs. And we're looking for a sense of surrender, like surrendering into ourselves. Okay, so now we'll flow through it, but no, you can hold any position for extra breaths. So as we're flowing through it, if you want to hold that round for some extra breaths, please go right ahead. And that's one of the bonuses of practicing at home. You can do whatever you want. Okay, so we inhale, open up that tiger's mouth, open the chest, open, open, open. Exhale, make gentle fist rounds, like the head to the pelvis, opening up the whole back. And then you move at your own pace. So take an extra breath wherever you need it. And just use an inhale to start the opening movement and an exhale to start the rounding movement. A few more. Okay, we'll gently come out of it. And we'll go from that to something really soft. We'll just trace from the heart. So we're not touching, just hovering the hand from the heart, over the shoulder, down the arm, and then like out through the fingers. So from the heart, over the shoulder, down the inner arm, out the fingers. So really gentle. Like we're just softly inviting anything that's weighing on the heart, any heaviness from the heart, any stuck feelings from the lungs like grief, anxiety, whatever it may be. We're just like gently encouraging it to flow out the body mind. So using this movement to take some weight off of the heart and off of the lungs. And you can be really static, or you could add like a little movement and kind of flow through. See what your body likes, what your body wants. A few more. If you like this movement, just keep it in mind. And do a few rounds anytime you feel like you might need a little smoothing. Okay, let's place the hands on the belly and just take a moment to absorb, feel whatever's present. Okay, we'll do another pose with the tiger's mouth, but this time we'll do I find it more challenging, this version where the two back fingers are down and we're still focusing on really opening the mouth. And usually one hand will have a bit of an easier time than the other. And if it's really not happening with the back fingers down, you can do the whole hand open like we did before. Okay, so let's come into a horse stance, and we can maybe come into a wider horse stance. So if you want to do like the widest horse stance, I can talk us through it, but just pick something that's comfortable. So if you want to do the really wide one, start your feet under your hips, open the feet out, open the heels out, and then do that one more time. Toes out, heels out. And then get a nice bend in the knees and see how you feel. So this leg position is obviously pretty intense. So take it or leave it. If you don't like it, do the smaller horse stance. Okay, so we have our tiger's mouth, and this is the movement. It's like a draw the bow. So the back hand pulls back the bow, the tiger's mouth opens. We look at the hand with some fierce energy. The exhale, we curl into ourselves. So we inhale, open up, draw the bow. We'll just do one side at a time. Exhale, curl in. So round the back, just like we did before. When you're ready, inhale, open up. Exhale, round. Go with your breath. We'll do a few more on this side. Two more. Okay, we'll switch sides. And we can also try a different breath. So we could inhale when we're rounded, exhale when we open. So if you want, try it that way. So we inhale round, think of the head towards the pelvis. Exhale, open that tiger's mouth and look with that fierce energy, letting go, letting go, letting go. Go with our breath, other side. A few more. Last one. Okay, come out of it. Ooh, shake out those legs. Let's give the legs some love. So we'll start tapping around the hips, go down the fronts of the legs, up the backs of the legs, and then come back around to the hips. So we'll just do that a few times. When you get to the hips, take like a little pause, get a little extra to the hips and the pelvic bone. And just a couple more. Last one. Okay, relax. Let's sweep shoulder to hip. One side and the other. Okay, now prayer, and then we sweep the bottom of the ribs and out. Okay, a little shake. Okay, one more using that rounded back position. And then I think after that, we'll make our way to the floor. Maybe a couple other standing legs. Okay, so we're going to do it two ways. So we'll start this way. Float the arms out to the sides. Touch the index and thumb. Turn the palms up. Round as we bring the hands towards the forehead. We can move the hands into like little loose fists. Round, round, round. When you're ready, inhale, bring the hands into prayer. Exhale, release down, the palms up. So we inhale out to the sides. Touch index and thumb. Exhale, come in. Make loose fists. Round, 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 round. With an inhale, come into prayer. Exhale, release. So I'll guide one more and then we'll do our own flow. Inhaling out to the sides. Touch index and thumb. Turn the palms up. Come in. Loose fists. Round, round, round. Inhale, prayer. Exhale, release. So let's do, let's say, 3 rounds on our own. Of course, you can watch me. And once you come to the end of the round you're on, just place the hands on the little belly. Take a moment. Okay, let's do push hands. So we'll gather energy into the lower dantian. Exhale, press the hands forward. Twice more like this. Now we'll add a sound and a jump if that works for you. So jumping forward and letting out a ha. Ha. Twice more. Ha. Ha. And now 3 smooth. Okay, gather in. Exhale, press down. Scoop up a big handful of energy. Give it to the lower dantian. Twice more. And we'll end with a bow. The feet come together. Hands come into prayer to the heart. And we bow. Paying respect to all beings. Sending out our prayers. And promoting unconditional love. Come out of it when you're ready. Now we can clap. Cheering for ourselves, for each other, and activating all the meridians through the hands. Okay, so we'll come down to the mat. We'll grab our blocks. If you don't have blocks, see if you can get 2 blankets that are kind of firm, something like this, or 2 pillows, like 2 throw pillows. And if you don't have anything, don't worry, we'll figure it out. Okay, so I'm going to go with my blocks. Also, if you want a drink of water or anything, feel free. Okay, so we'll just put whatever we grabbed aside. For now, we don't need it just yet. We'll start with our seated twist. Okay, so one leg extended, one leg bent, either inside the extended leg or outside. Interlace around the knee, long spine. Oh, and here you could be sitting on your blocks or your blanket or your pillow just to get a bit more length through the spine. So we'll take a few long, deep breaths here. And take it into the twist, twisting towards the long leg. Back hand comes behind. Okay, come back to center, pick up the leg, give it a rock. Circle. Other direction. Foot inside the thigh. So you can put a block underneath your bent leg if it's like really hanging out there. Sit up nice and tall, and we'll just do a little twist towards the long leg. Okay, back to center. Let's switch sides. So setting ourselves up for the twist. Before we go into the twist, we interlace around the knee, proud open chest, long deep breaths. Take it into the twist. Bottom leg is still active. Even the top leg, the foot's pushing into the floor. Okay, back to center. Pick up the leg. Give it a rock. Circle. Other direction. Foot inside the thigh. So put a block or a pillow under the leg. Like if it's up here, put something underneath it. All right, so sit up nice and tall. Twist towards the long leg. And come out of it. Perfect. Okay, so we'll come down to the back. So keep your blocks or your pillows, blankets, whatever you're using, like in grabbing distance. So before we do the stuff with the blocks, we'll do some twists. Normally, I like to do the twist super relaxed, like the last thing before Shavasana. But this time, we're going to do the twists with a little bit more control and more focus on the abs. So more for strengthening the core than just releasing the back. But if you want to do the relaxed version, totally fine. Okay, so for the core version, we'll try to keep the legs together. So it's like one leg. So the legs squeeze together, knees squeeze together. We'll inhale here. Arms are out. They can be cactus arms like me or straight, whatever you prefer. So we inhale here. We exhale, aim the knees towards one elbow. Inhale back to center. Exhale, aim the knees to the other elbow. So we just go as far as we comfortably can, keeping the legs squeezing together. So you might be able to touch the floor and maybe not, you just see what's happening for today. Using the core to move those legs. Keeping those legs squeezing together. And aiming for the elbow gives us a little more of that core activation. Okay, if this happens to be very easy and comfortable for you, you can make the legs more like 90 degrees. You still squeeze them together, still the same thing, and the same movement. aiming to the elbow. And if that is very, very, very comfortable, you could extend the legs and aim the feet towards the hand. But whichever way we're doing it, we really want to keep the legs squeezing together. So pick your version for today, and we'll do a few more. You can experiment. Sometimes we don't think we can do something, but you don't know until you try. And it's not about getting the legs to the floor, it's about that twisting action and the engagement of the core. A few more. Okay, come back to center. Take a moment, stretch the legs, stretch the arms, circle ankles and wrists. Other direction. Okay, feet come down to the earth. Bring those blocks closer. Let's do a few pelvic lifts. So we can make it a little extra by taking one of the blocks between the knees. A gentle squeeze. You don't have to put the block between the knees, so see if you like it. We'll inhale the pelvis up, maybe the arms overhead. Exhale, pelvis down, arms down. So let's do a few of these. Oh, if you want to make it a little more intense, depending, you could take the other block between your hands and move the arms back with the block. That'll just help synchronize the movement of your shoulders. And if you have a heavier block, it's also a little more weight. But pick the version you prefer for today. A few more. Okay, one more, and we'll see if we can lift up just a little higher. Okay, come out of it. Blocks aside. And go into a relaxed version of twists. Okay, back to center. So let's take our block again, or your folded blanket, or a firm pillow. And we'll have it on the flattest position. Lift up the pelvis, slide it underneath the sacrum. So the back of the pelvis is just resting on the support. Take a couple breaths here. Okay, so we can stay here with the feet on the floor, or we can see if it's comfortable to bring the soles of the feet together and let the legs hang out to the sides. A few breaths here. Okay, now if you're comfortable with the legs out to the sides, we can see if it's possible to do pelvic lifts in this position. So we kind of squeeze the feet into one another, press the feet into the floor, and see if we can inhale, lift the pelvis, exhale, lower. A few more. Okay, once you're happy with that, feet back on the floor. So we can rest here for a few breaths. Or you can see if this works for your back. Some people's backs really like it, others don't. So see if you like it or not. We could stretch the legs out. So see what works for you today. Let's take a few breaths here. Okay, if your legs are extended, bend them again. Take a few breaths, legs bent. You can have the block, or if you're done with the block, you can take it away right away. We're going to move it in a couple breaths. Okay, gently press the feet into the floor, lift the hips, take the block away. And again, just toss the legs side to side. Okay, back to center. Let's do a few pelvic tucks. So we can slide the hands underneath the low back. Inhale as we move the hips towards the thighs, making more space for the hands. Exhale as we press the low back into the floor, pressing the hands, squishing the hands with the low back. So we inhale forward, make more space. Exhale towards the head, crush the hands. Go with our breath. couple more. Okay, let's get ready for relaxation. So we can do our usual knees bent, feet separated, knees lean in. Or since we have our supports and we've been working with the hips, if you like, if it's comfortable, we can bring the soles of the feet together and the blocks or the pillows or the blankets, whatever you have, underneath the legs. If you're on something where the block can be at an angle, that's the most comfortable. But if you're on like a floor like me, it might slide away. You can also put it as high or as low as you like. It's better to start higher so you have some room. So try it out, see if you like it, see if it feels good for today. And if you're not feeling it, or if your blocks are sliding away or whatever, just do your normal Shavasana. So put yourself in a position where you can relax, whatever that might be for today. Let's let ourselves let everything go. Okay. Let's gently start to wake the body. Deepening the breath. Inviting movement once it feels good. If you have your legs out on the blocks, gently bring the knees together. Lean the knees one into the other and just take a little moment. And when you're ready, give yourself a full body stretch. And once you're nice and stretched, knees to chest, let's do a few double knee tucks. So we'll inhale away, exhale to the chest. Okay, rock side to side. And all the way to one side. Move the block if it's in your way. Take a breath or two. And with the strength of the arms, press up. Make our way into any comfortable seated position. And let's just take a quiet moment before we close. Relaxing into all of the sounds and sensations. Receiving the support of the earth. Softening around the natural movement of breath. If you like, we can close with a bow. The divine in me honors the divine in. Thank you so very, very, very much for another wonderful year of yoga and qigong. So off for the holidays, but you're already on my YouTube channel, so there's a bajillion classes, so you can keep practicing. And also, maybe just do little things that you've picked out from the classes. So if there's any moves you like, just kind of sneak them in throughout the day. That's the way I practice. So I don't do a whole hour. I'll do my Qigong sequence, which is maybe 20 minutes. But other than that, just when I need something, I just do a little something. So if that speaks to you, I invite you to try it. And also, of course, you have access to, I think there's over 400 classes on YouTube. So pick a class. You don't have to do the whole thing. There's also all those mini classes. A lot of them are only 5 minutes. And even if you don't do anything, don't worry because we're back January 12th, I believe, whatever the Tuesday is, you'll get it in the email. So I wish you the happiest of holidays, and I just hope you have a wonderful, warm time with yourselves, family, friends, and all of that good stuff. So thank you again, and I'll see you in the new year. Happy New Year, everyone. Take care.